Napa Valley Unified School District, our vision is clear: to prepare every student to become confident, compassionate, and adaptable adults, ready for life and equipped to be inspiring advocates for themselves and their community. We believe this begins with belonging. We intentionally cultivate a safe and supportive environment where every student feels valued and respected. This foundation of belonging is what makes our students confident, curious, and ready to embrace both opportunities and challenges. We deliver this promise through a comprehensive and balanced educational program, where we carefully scaffold challenge and support through strong academic programs, enriched by access to robust athletic, arts, and enrichment opportunities. At NVUSD, we prepare every student for college, career, and life. This is our commitment to you: belonging today, future ready tomorrow. En el Distrito Escolar Unificado del Valle de Napa, nuestra visión es clara: preparar a cada estudiante para que se convierta en un adulto seguro de sí mismo, compasivo y adaptable, preparado para la vida y equipado para ser un inspirado defensor de sí mismo y de su comunidad. Creemos que este aprendizaje comienza con la pertenencia. Cultivamos intencionadamente un entorno seguro y beneficioso en el que todos los estudiantes se sienten valorados y respetados. Esta base de pertenencia es lo que hace que nuestros estudiantes tengan confianza en sí mismos, sean curiosos y estén preparados para aprovechar tanto las oportunidades como los retos. Cumplimos esta promesa a través de un programa educativo completo y balanceado, en el que preparamos los retos y ofrecemos apoyo, centrándose en un gran programa académico, con el acceso a sólidas oportunidades deportivas, artísticas y de enriquecimiento. En el NVUSD, preparamos a cada estudiante para la universidad, las carreras profesionales y la vida. Es nuestro compromiso con ustedes: pertenecer hoy, preparados para el futuro mañana.
All right, good evening. We do have live Spanish interpretation available tonight. Isidro, will you please share the instructions for joining that channel?
Sí, esta noche va a haber interpretación simultánea en español. En breves momentos ustedes van a ver en la parte de abajo de su pantalla un icono del globo terráqueo. Pueden hacer clic allí y entonces elegir el idioma Spanish o español. Si están en su teléfono móvil, localicen los 3 puntitos que suelen estar en la parte superior o inferior derecha de su pantalla de Zoom. Al hacer clic allí van a encontrar de nuevo la opción de interpretación, otro clic y elegir el idioma Spanish o español. No se olviden de hacer clic en Done o Listo para lanzar el canal. Muchas gracias. Back to you.
Thank you. All right, well, good evening. I'm Susan Miller. I'm the Director of Enrollment here at NVUSD, and I would like to welcome you to our enrollment webinar tonight. I'm very excited to be here with you to talk about enrollment into NVUSD and to answer hopefully all of your enrollment questions so that you're ready to go. So I want to begin by sharing the vision of NVUSD and a little bit about who we are. So our graduates are confident, compassionate, and adaptable adults who are well prepared for life and become inspiring advocates for themselves and their community. We're a school district of 26 schools, 1,600 staff members, and about 16,000 students. We serve the communities of American Canyon, Napa, and Yountville. We have 13 elementary schools, 3 TK-8 schools, 4 middle schools, and 4 high schools, along with several other alternative education programs. And I'll discuss some specific programs we offer and pathways a little bit later in the webinar. So let's begin with who should apply to attend NVUSD right now. So right now we are welcoming new students for the 26-27 school year, and families who want to enroll in their neighborhood school should complete a registration packet. We're currently also accepting open enrollment applications, for students who wish to attend a school other than their boundary school. Open enrollment is for current families and for new resident families. Some of our resident families may be submitting 2 applications during this time of year, one of them to enroll for the first time, and one of them will be to open enroll to a school other than their boundary school. We're also accepting applications from families who live outside of NVUSD and wish to attend one of our schools. There are some important dates and deadlines to remember when it comes to enrollment for the 26-27 school year. Registration for new resident students, like I said, is happening now. This is ongoing and will be ongoing through the 26-27 school year. No deadline here, but please keep in mind that if you wait to enroll until after this initial open enrollment period, we may not be able to guarantee you a seat at your resident school. So enrolling right now is the best time to do it. Open enrollment is also happening now, and this is an opportunity if you'd like to attend a school other than your resident school. The deadline to submit that application will be on November 30th. Open enrollment seats are offered on a lottery basis, and families will be notified if they are offered a seat or being placed on a wait list in mid-December. There will be additional waitlist offers made in early and mid-January. For our out-of-district families, we expect to preliminarily accept and place students after the conclusion of open enrollment. A big consideration for families we know is before and after care, particularly for our TK and kinder families. So once you decide where your student will be attending school next year, registration for before and after care will begin on February 2nd. So another important date to keep in mind. So let's talk a little bit about the technical part of enrollment. There's some steps you'll have to take in order to get your student enrolled in our system. And I want to share with you what you can expect as you complete that registration process and possibly submit an open enrollment application. So you're going to complete your student's registration in our online Schoolment platform. You'll set up an account and complete a registration packet. And we say that this takes between 45 minutes to an hour the first time to get your family profile set up and to get all the information about your student in our system. You can access Schoolment right from the district webpage. And if you prefer, we do have in-person support available here in the Enrollment Center. You'll still use the Schoolment platform. All of our registration packets are done online. They're paperless, but we do have bilingual staff available as well as computer stations and document scanners if that's helpful for your family. Something that can really help streamline the process is if you can prepare your documents for enrollment in advance. So there are several categories where we're going to need you to provide documentation as your student enrolls. We need to verify parent identity. So you will need to provide a photo of an ID of yourself and then a picture of yourself holding that ID so we can verify that it's you. We also need to verify your student's identity and their age. Most families do that through providing a copy of student birth certificate or a passport, but we accept baptismal certificates and other forms of student identification as well. We also need to verify your address is within the NVUSD boundary. So you'll need to provide a primary address document like a lease or a mortgage statement, property tax bill. And then in addition to that, we will need 3 additional items dated within the last 45 days. So for the additional items, commonly used examples could be any type of bill, your pay stub, bank statements, utility statements, cell phone, credit card, or communication from a government agency. If you don't have some of these items, don't worry. It doesn't mean that you can't enroll, but a call to an enrollment specialist is a good idea. We'll be able to help you here in my office identify items that you can use and that we can accept to get your student enrolled. So we will also need you to provide some health records. So at the time of enrollment, we will collect your students' immunization records from you. And then there's an NVUSD health form that you'll fill out and submit as part of your registration. And sometimes, particularly again for our TK and kinder students might still be in the process of receiving all of their required immunizations, and that's okay. My team here in the Enrollment Center works with the district nursing staff and will communicate to you if there's something that you need prior to the start of school. And the health form that will also be submitted, it's linked inside the registration packet. It's a fillable PDF. You'll be able to open that right up, fill it out, save it, attach it back to the registration packet. There's a couple of items that I like to say are nice to have, but definitely not required to complete your student's enrollment. So if your student has an IEP or a 504 plan, it's very helpful for us to have that right away so that we can make sure your student is provided with the proper services and supports. For high school students, it's also really helpful to have a copy of your student's transcript so that we can make sure that the counselor builds them the right schedule. And finally, you'll hit submit. So every registration that is submitted is reviewed by a member of the enrollment team. If we have questions for you, or if there's additional information that's needed, an enrollment specialist will contact you and let you know what's required to complete your registration. Once the registration is reviewed and approved, you'll receive an email from us with next steps. And we do receive a high volume of registrations during open enrollment. So if you don't hear back from us right away, know that we're working on reviewing your application, and you can always call us or email at any time if you want to check on the status of that registration. So during this time, some families will also be submitting an open enrollment application, as I shared earlier, because they're interested in attending a school other than their boundary school. You are able to, you'll open an open enrollment application right there in Schoolment. You'll see it'll say school registration, open enrollment. You'll select open enrollment. It's a very quick process. And for open enrollment, you're able to select 2 additional school choices that you might be interested in. In that application, you'll tell us your 2 choices, you'll rank them, and then there's a few additional program-specific questions you may need to answer. You'll confirm all your choices, and you'll hit submit. Open enrollment notifications will go out in mid-December, and then again in early and mid-January. So as you're making decisions about possibly open enrolling to different schools in our district, let me share a little bit about some of the future ready programming that we offer in NVUSD. So for our elementary school students, future readiness begins right away. All of our students have access to nutritious and scratch cooked meals through NOSH, our food service program. So our elementary school students get to enjoy breakfast in the classroom. So every student has a great start to their day. We use letters curriculum in our elementary school classrooms to support students in developing the strong literacy skills that they need to be future ready. We use the Writing Revolution curriculum in our elementary school classrooms so that our students become effective writers and communicators. And beyond elementary school, we have a wide range of programs to build for future ready students as well. So our award-winning TK-12 DLI pathway does begin in elementary school and continues through the 12th grade. Students in this program receive instruction in both Spanish and English and achieve mastery in both languages. NVUSD belongs to the STARS College Network, where we work directly with 32 top-tier universities. Through this program, students have access to summer programming where they gain exposure to highly selective schools. Our high schools offer a wide range of career technical education programs where students are able to gain hands-on industry experience. And we offer college access to high school students during the time they spend in high school. We have an early college program, a new technology high school, and part of that program is students have an opportunity to earn an associate degree while still attending high school. And at our comprehensive high school on our comprehensive high school campuses, we offer a variety of dual enrollment college courses in partnership with the Napa Valley College. And finally, Cal State East Bay offers guaranteed admission to NVUSD students who meet specific academic and eligibility criteria. So let's spend a few minutes going over some common scenarios, then questions that come up from families as they enroll in NVUSD. So in addition to program options, understanding your school options is key to navigating enrollment. So every student has a boundary school. You can find that using the street table linked in the enrollment page if you're not sure what your boundary school is. And then students have transfer options during open enrollment. This allows students to have to attend a school other than their assigned boundary school and exercise some school choice. Sometimes outside of open enrollment, students are granted transfers if they're experiencing a hardship or there's a special circumstance. But the best and easiest time to select a school other than your boundary school is during open enrollment right now. Open enrollment waitlists are a topic that generate lots of questions here in the Enrollment Center. So let me walk through that with you. NVUSD has set priorities for open enrollment. Our school board has set priorities for open enrollment. And these priorities include things like program alignment, sibling attendance, parent employment at the school, and socioeconomic balance. The number of seats available at each school site is set based on a few factors like current neighborhood enrollment, program enrollment, and enrollment trends. Open enrollment lotteries are all run through Schoolment in the software in Schoolment. Those lotteries are based on board priorities and the seats available. Schoolment generates offers and wait lists through that software, and families are notified if they've been offered a seat or have been placed on a wait list by the middle of December. When a family receives an open enrollment offer, they have 48 hours to accept or decline the offer. And because families are able to choose two options for open enrollment, some families might receive two offers, right? They might choice one, choice two. They may receive an offer and be placed on a wait list, or they may be placed on two wait lists. Once families accept a seat, they're not able to remain on a wait list. So if you get an enrollment offer and you get a wait list offer, if you choose the open enrollment, you're taken off of the wait list. So these initial options are processed mid-December, and then in early January, we're able to move students off some of those wait lists. And then again, in the middle of January, families will hear if there's been movement on the wait lists. After mid-January, some wait lists will remain, and as seats open up, they will be filled balancing the placement of students from the wait list with placement of students from the neighborhood who may have registered or moved into the neighborhood during that time. For the most part, wait lists expire at the end of June, with the exception of our non-boundary programs that are filled entirely through open enrollment. Those wait lists will remain open through the start of school. So another common question has to do with your registration has been incomplete. You hear from my team, they need something else from you. So every registration that's submitted is reviewed, and sometimes they're not quite ready to be processed. And so someone from the enrollment team will contact you. They'll let you know what needs to happen in order to complete your registration. And the most common issues we encounter are maybe we can't see the documents that you've scanned and uploaded, or sometimes the date on the proofs you've provided to verify your address might be outside of the 45 days. And then sometimes parents will submit incomplete immunization records and we'll need to follow up to get the completed copy before we can finish enrolling. But if there's issues, my team will reach out to you and work with you directly to resolve those. So before and after care, particularly for TK and kinder students, our extended learning program offers before and after school care for all TK at all of our schools for TK and kinder in American Canyon and Napa. These programs run until 6 daily. TK and kinder students are picked up from their classrooms, taken to aftercare. They're provided with nutritious snacks and enrichment activities during that time. There's a sliding fee scale and full and partial scholarships available for families. And enrollment into these programs follows state guidelines, and staffing is adjusted to reflect the demand. So sometimes families may initially apply to receive before and after care and be placed on a wait list. And just know that our staff works to adjust staffing and make sure that we have seats to reflect the demand at each school for before and after care. And that opens on February 2nd. So hopefully by then, if you've participated in open enrollment, you'll know where your child's going to attend school, and you can submit that application for before or after care right away. So families who live outside of NVUSD are welcome to apply for enrollment in the 26-27 school year right now. Families will need to submit the out-of-district enrollment packet, which when you set up your family profile in Schoolment will be your only option if your address is outside of NVUSD. Those applications will be reviewed as they are received, and families will receive a preliminary response from my office. If you receive a preliminary acceptance, you'll need to work with your district of residence to complete their paperwork before we can finalize your enrollment with us. If you're applying, when families apply to attend NVUSD from out of district, the application is to attend somewhere within the district, not necessarily a particular school. We do collect preferences from families, and we do our best to accommodate your request of where you would like to attend. So before the webinar, some of you submitted some great questions in advance of tonight's meeting. I'm going to answer a few of the common questions tonight. Please know that if I don't answer your question, that staff will be in contact with you with an answer within the next week. So a question that commonly comes up is, my student has an individual learning plan, how are students supported? So students who qualify for special education services or have an IEP are supported based on the services listed in their IEP. And students who qualify for special education services participate in open enrollment exactly the same way that their typical peers do. And it is helpful, especially if you're coming from out of district, if you can provide that IEP at the time of enrollment. So this question has to do with moving from 5th grade to middle school. As students matriculate through our system, they are automatically enrolled into their next residence school. So they, with a few exceptions, they just roll right into the next place. Families don't need to re-enroll or do anything. Exceptions are 5th grade students who attend Pueblo Vista and NVUSD automatically roll into Unidos, so they can continue that dual language immersion program. And 5th graders who attend Shearer and Vichy automatically stay for 6th grade. Question about transportation. What are the transportation options for my student, and how can I learn more? So everything that you could learn or need to know about transportation is located on our webpage. It's a great resource. You can find contact information there, bus routes, anything related to transportation to make sure you know what your students' options are. So we have a question about a child who currently attends an elementary school where middle school is offered, so at one of our TK8 schools. They need to stay due to siblings and work schedule and would like to know why the spot is not guaranteed, even though they've been there since kindergarten. So this is a great question about our TK8 program. So our 6th grade cohorts at our TK8 schools have a maximum size of 64. If there are more than 64 5th grade students, families are asked to open enroll. So for example, at Browns Valley in the past, there are more than 64 5th graders, and we have asked those families to open enroll. But we have been able to enroll all 5th graders who wanted to stay in that program because not more than 64 of them replied yes. So if there were a scenario at Browns Valley where more than 64 of the 5th graders wanted to stay for 6th grade, we would run a lottery, which is why we ask families to open enroll. So we're prepared to do that. If that were to happen, siblings and resident students would be prioritized. So a student who, in this question, who has a sibling attending, sounds like they've lived in the neighborhood, they would be prioritized in that lottery and most likely receive a spot. It's a question about how families can learn about arts and athletic programs at school. This is another great one where our webpage is a great resource where you can get all the information about specific schools and programs, including sports. Also, taking a school tour or attending an open house is another great way to learn about school-specific program offerings. So to keep learning more about enrolling in NVUSD, there's tons of resources, again, on our webpage. You can visit there, visit the enrollment page where you can find contact information, phone number, email, how you can get hold of my team. You can also check out the schedule of school tours that are happening now. If there's a program that you're interested in, you can visit and learn more. And thank you so much for attending this evening. And please reach out to the Enrollment Center if you have any questions or if you need any additional assistance. Thanks so much.